LJ. Ulang-wala akong last name. Hi guys, it's me, LJ,
Carlos,
Suti, and Sam.
and today we're going to talk about networking, connecting computing devices.
and me, I'm gonna start with networking fundamentals.
Followed by me, networking architectures and components. And me, connecting to the internet.
And of course, yours truly, secure. Carlo,
And then me, connecting to the internet.
and of course, yours truly, securing wireless networks. And also, we're going to talk about installing and configuring home network. So make sure you stay tuned.
Hi, I'm going to tackle about networking fundamentals. Many of today's homes have more than one computing device capable of connecting to the internet. A typical family engages in many activities that involve sharing and accessing files over and from the internet and using a variety of internet devices. What makes all this technology transfer possible? The answer with that is easy. Computer network. A computer network is simply two or more computers that are connected via software and hardware so they can communicate with each other. Each device connected to a network is referred as a node. A node can be a computer, a peripheral such as a printer or a game console, or a network device such as a router.
Pause ka lang.
Pwede mo.
1, 2, 3.
What are the benefits of networks? There are several benefits.
A few moments later.
How fast does data move through networks? Data transfer rate is the maximum speed of which data can be transmitted between two nodes of a network. Throughput is the actual speed of data transfer that is achieved. Throughput is always less than or equal to the data transfer rate. Data transfer rate and throughput are usually measured in megabytes or per second Mbps. A megabit is 1 million bits. One of the main factors that determine how fast data moves is the type of network, which we'll discuss later on in this chapter.
Tomorrow.
So network architectures and their components. Question 1, what are the different ways to classify networks? The network you have in your home differs greatly in terms of its size, structure, and cost from the one in your college campus. The difference is based in part of their network architecture. So network architectures or network designs are classified according to 1, the distance between nodes, 2, the way in which the network is managed, 3, the set of rules or protocol used to exchange data between network nodes, and lastly, the communications medium used to transfer the data. Next, we'll look at all of these factors plus the hardware that is often used on networks. So, networks architecture is defined by distance. So, these are the following are common types of networks. 1, a personal area network PAN is a network used for communications among devices close to one person such as smartphones, notebooks, and tablets using wireless technologies such as Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. Second, local area network or LAN is a network in which the nodes are located within a small geographic area. So, examples include a network in the computer lab, at school, or at a fast food restaurant. Number 3, so another one, a wide area network or WAN spans a large physical distance. The internet is the largest in WAN, covering the globe. A WAN is also a network collection of LANs. If a school has multiple campuses located in different towns, each with its own LAN connecting to the LANs of each campus by telecommunication lines, allow the users of the LANs to communicate. All the connected LANs would be described as a single LAN. So network architecture is defined by levels of administration. How does the level of administration define the network? A network can be administered or managed in two main ways, centrally or locally. So central administration. In a centrally administered network, tasks performed from one computer can affect the other computers of the network. A client-server network is an example. So next one, local administration. In a locally administered network, the configuration and maintenance of the network must be performed on each individual computer attached to the network. For example, is a peer-to-peer network.
One eternity later.
So, Sam here. So, let's talk about connecting to the internet. Sam here. Let's talk about connecting to the internet. So, one of the main reasons for setting up a network is to share an internet connection. Some businesses and large organizations have a dedicated connection to the internet. But other businesses and home owners purchase internet access from Internet Service Providers or ISPs. ISP! Internet Service Providers or ISPs. Okay, so here are the questions about wired broadband internet connections. Question number
1.
What exactly is broadband internet access? Broadband, often referred to as high-speed internet, refers to a type of connection that offers a means to connect to the internet with faster throughput. Broadband, often referred to as high-speed internet, refers to a type of connection that offers a means to connect to the internet with faster throughput. Question number 2. What type of broadband are available? The standard wired broadband technologies in most areas are cable, DSL or digital subscriber line, and fiber optic service. Satellite broadband is used mostly in rural or mountain areas that can get DSL, cable, or fiber optic service. Question number 3. How does cable internet work? Cable internet is a broadband service that transmits data over the coaxial cables and also transmits cable television signals. However, cable TV and cable internet are separate services. Cable TV is a one-way service in which the cable company feeds programming signals to your television. Number 4. How does DSL work? DSL or digital subscriber line uses twisted pair cable, the same as that used for regular telephones to connect your computer to the internet. The bandwidth of the wires is split into 3 sections, like a 3-lane highway. One lane is used to carry voice data. DSL use the remaining 2 lanes to send and receive data separately at much higher frequency than voice data. Number 5. How does satellite internet work? To take advantage of satellite internet, you need a satellite dish, which is placed outside your home and connected to your computer with a coaxial cable, the same type of cable used for cable TV. Question number 6. How does I choose which broadband connection option is best for me? Depending on where you live, you might not have a choice of the broadband connection. Check with your local cable provider, phone company, and satellite TV providers to determine what broadband options are available and what the transfer rates are in your area. Now, let's talk about wireless internet access. How can I access the internet wirelessly at home? To access the internet wirelessly at home, you need to establish Wi-Fi on your home network by using a router that features wireless capabilities. Question number 2.
Eventually.
Question number 2. Question number 2. How can I access Wi-Fi when I'm away from home? When you're away from home, you need to find a Wi-Fi hotspot. Many public places such as libraries, hotels, airports, and fast food and coffee shops offer Wi-Fi access. Most locations are free, though a few still charge or require a special password to access the connection. But wait, what if Wi-Fi isn't available? There are often occasions when you're not in a Wi-Fi hotspot but still need to access the internet. In these instances, you may want to consider signing up for mobile broadband. Mobile broadband connects you to the internet through the same cellular network that cell phones use to get 3G or 4G internet access. But which one is faster? Mobile broadband or wired internet?
Meanwhile,
So which one's faster? Mobile broadband internet or wired internet access? 3G performs similarly to a standard DSL connection. According to the standard set for 4G, the data transfer rate you will get while in a moving vehicle is approximately 100 Mbps. From a fixed location, you can expect up to a 1 GB data transfer rate. Some of the early 4G systems released in the market support less than the required 1 GB rate and are not fully compliant with the 4G standards, and so are being tagged as 4G LTE. They are still faster than 3G, however. How can I get 3G or 4G service if my device doesn't have the right equipment? Many devices such as iPad, Kindle Fire, Chromebook, and some laptops are available with built-in 3G or 4G capabilities.
2,000 years later.
So what's up now? And we're back. Ay, kamay mo! It's now my time to shine. Today we're gonna talk about securing wireless networks. All computers that connect to the internet, whether or not they're on a network, needs to be secured from intruders. This is usually accomplished by using a firewall. A firewall is a hardware or software solution that helps shield your computer from prying eyes. Cut. Today, we're gonna answer some questions you have about securing wireless networks. Question number XXX. Question number 111. Why is a wireless network more vulnerable than a wireless network? With a wired network, it's fairly easy to tell if a hacker, someone who breaks into computer systems to create mischief or steal information, is using your network. However, the new wireless 802.11 networks have wide ranges that may extend outside your house. It makes it possible for a hacker to access your network without your knowledge. Also, in some areas where residences are closer together, wireless signals can reach a neighbor's residence. Piggybacking is connecting to a wireless network without the permission of the owner. This practice is illegal in many jurisdictions but often happens. Also, in some areas where residences are closer together, wireless signals can reach a neighbor's house. Piggybacking is connecting to a wireless network without the permission of the owner. This practice is illegal in many jurisdictions but often happens inadvertently between neighbors. Question number 2.
End of flashback.
Question number 2. Why should I be worried about someone logging onto my wireless network without my permission? If your neighbor is using your network connection, his or her usage could be slowing down your internet connection. Some neighbors might even be computer savvy about this, and they are enough to penetrate your unprotected wireless network. But now, we are gonna talk about question number 3. How is my wireless network vulnerable? Packets of information on a wireless network are broadcast through the airwaves. Savvy hackers can intercept and decode information from your transmissions that may allow them to bypass standard protections such as a firewall that you yourself built. Now, maybe you're wondering, with all this information, how can I protect my mobile internet or my network connection? First, change your network name or your SSID. Each wireless network has its own name to identify it. It is known as the Service Set Identifier, or also known as SSID. Unless you change the name when you set up your router, the router uses a default. Unless you change the name when you set up your router, the router uses a default network name that all routers from the manufacturer use, such as wireless or network, or maybe PLDT, Wi-Fi, and so on and so forth. Number 2, you need to disable SSID broadcast. Most routers are set up to broadcast their SSID so that other wireless devices can find them, such as Wi-Fi. If your router supports disabling SSID broadcasting, turn it off. This makes it more difficult for a hacker to detect your network and nearly impossible for a neighbor to access your internet connection. Number 3, of course, this is one of the most obvious. Change the default password on your router. Routers have default. Change the default. Number 3, change the password on your router. Routers have username and passwords. Hackers can use these to access your router and break into your networks. Of course, this is pretty much obvious. You need to set up your own password. Use at least 8 characters that are a combination of letters, symbols, and numbers. Number 4, kita ka. Number 4, turn on security protocols. Most routers ship with security protocols such as Wired Equivalent Privacy or WEP, or the most obvious of them all and the most known, Wi-Fi Protected Access or WPA. Both use encryption type method of translating your data into codes. This protects data in your wireless transmissions. Number 5, last but not least, create a passphrase. When you enable these protocols, you're forced to create a security encryption or a passphrase. When you attempt to connect a node to a security-enabled network for the first time, you are required to enter the security key. Security key or passphrase is a code that that computers use on your network in order to decrypt or decode data transmissions. Without this key, it's extremely difficult, if not impossible, to decrypt the data transmissions from your network. And that's just my 5 tips on how to secure a wireless network. So, yes. And once again, my name is LJ, Carlos,
Me and Sam.
and we are signing off. Today, our problem is troubleshooting wireless network problems. Number 1, what type of problems can I run into when installing wireless networks? The maximum range of 802.11 AC is 350 feet. But of course, as you go farther away, the network stops. Number 2, what if a node on the network seems low? Repositioning a node with the same room in the same room can increase Wi-Fi connectivity or the wireless network connectivity. But what if that wasn't effective enough? Number 3, what's a dual band N router? A dual band N router allows for simultaneous support for both 2.4 GHz and 5 GHz frequency. And number 4, what's a wireless range extender? A wireless range extender extends the range of your Wi-Fi.
It's bits and bytes time. So, how do I tell if my home network is up to date? Most home network routers should support both wireless and wired access to the internet. For a home network to run efficiently, all nodes such as NICs and routers should use the same Ethernet standard. The device manager utility in Windows lists all adapters installed on your computer.
Go.
So how do I configure the software on my computer and set up the devices required to get my network up and running? The latest version of Windows make it easy to set up wired and wireless networks. Plug in the modem, the router, and all cables, and then switch on the modem, router, and computers in that order. Secondly, launch a network and sharing center and select the appropriate links for setup. Next, make sure each computer has distinct name and ensures that all computers are in the same home group. And lastly, devices such as gaming consoles each have their own setup procedures for connecting to wireless networks, but usually require the same information as that needed for connecting a computer to a secured wireless network.
Hi guys, it's me again. It's Bits and Bytes time. Besides computers, what other devices can I connect to home router? All devices are connected to your router, either wirelessly or with a wire connection. Wired connections deliver better throughput than wireless. To add additional ports to your networks, you can connect a switch to your router. A network-attached storage or NAS devices let you store and share data files such as movies, music, as well as provide central place for backups. Home network servers can be used instead of NAS devices if your needs require more sophisticated functionality than NAS devices. Connecting digital entertainment devices such as gaming console lets you stream movies and other entertainment directly from the internet.
Go. Hi, it's Bits and Bytes time. Number 9. What problems might I encounter when setting up a wireless network? You may not get throughput you need through a wireless connection. Therefore, you may need to consider a wired connection for certain devices. You must remember that. Distance from the router as well as walls, floors, and large metal objects such as these can interfere with wireless connectivity. To solve connectivity problems, dual band and routers allow for simultaneous support for devices running both 2.4 GHz and 5 GHz connection for 802.11 and either standards. So remember that when setting up a wireless network. Catch you later. So this is the end of Bits and Bytes time. Bye!
Epilogue.
Computing devices. I'm going to start with networking fundamentals. Followed by me, followed by me,
Followed by me, network architectures and components.
Next is
and me,
connecting to the internet.
and yours truly, and of course me, securing wireless networks. Ito, meron na tayo dito. Ito, tig-iisa tayo dyan. Ihuhuli na lang natin. Ihuhuli na. This is all computers that connect to the internet, whether or not they're in a network. Ay, na Carlos! Nabigat sa tita! Uy!
Ano yung kita doon?
Yes! Carlos, akala ko ba ikaw mo sa style? Sino mo? Hello, test mic, test mic.
Hello po sa parents ko dyan sa Ordaneta.
Paano yan? Ay, eto, sige,
Nag-aaral
okay na
po ako
sana
ng
eh.
mabuti dito.
Ito lang sabihin mo. Huwag mo na sabihin yung Han. Mag-1 ka na.
Aral po ako.
Mag-1 ka na.